All right, friends, let's make some heart sculptures. We're going to talk about the yarn heart first. So what you need for this is a ball of colorful yarn. You could maybe grab two if you want to have two different colors in your heart. Scissors, pencil, and a little piece of thick paper or cardboard. All right, we're going to start by drawing a heart. You can use a marker or a pencil to do this. And you're just going to sketch your heart on your thick paper or cardboard. And then you're going to cut your heart out. And you can throw away these scraps. You don't need these little scraps anymore. Recycle. All right, now before I put the yarn on my heart, I have to make a couple little holes. Well, not actually holes, but little slits. A slit is like a little tiny cut. So I'm gonna start on the edge of the heart here on the bottom, and I'm gonna make a little cut. Do you see how tiny that cut is? It's just a little tiny slit. I'm actually gonna do that all the way around my heart with a little tiny space in between each slit. Give it like a little inch space. And I'm gonna keep doing that all around my heart. Remember, these lines do not have to be really big, just tiny little slits. Okay, done with my scissors, carefully close them, put them away. And now I'm gonna grab my first color of yarn. All right, with my yarn ball, I'm going to look for the end of the yarn, and I'm going to stick the end of the yarn in one of these slits. It does not matter which one, any of them. Now see how the slit is gonna kind of hold the yarn in place? This is great for me because what I am going to do is start wrapping my yarn around my heart. Now my goal is to kind of, each time I wrap it around the heart, get the yarn in these little slits that will help me keep the yarn in place. And I'm gonna keep wrapping the heart, wrapping the heart, wrapping the heart until I've kind of wrapped the whole thing. This is gonna take a lot of yarn, so I am gonna keep wrapping, and I'm gonna fast forward my video in a second to show you what it looks like when I'm done. Before I do that though, I do wanna show you what to do if you wanna change colors. So I'm using like a pink yarn right now, and if I wanna add more colors to this, I can stop, cut my yarn off, put my yarn into one of these little slits to keep it in place. So see, I put the end in one of the slits here. So see, the yarn is staying in place. And now I can take a new yarn ball. I want to take this blue yarn and add some of that. So I'm going to take the new yarn ball and I'm going to find the end of it. Looks like we've got an end right here. And I'm going to put that end into one of the slits, just like I did before. And then I'm going to start wrapping some blue. So this is a way that I can add more than one color to my heart. And I'm going to keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping until I've kind of covered up my heart and I don't see any more of my white cardboard. So I'm going to keep wrapping and wrapping until this is done. Okay, when I think I'm done, I can cut my yarn off again and put it in one of the slits to keep it in place. There. All right, you can definitely add a lot more yarn to this to cover more of your cardboard. I'm just going to stop here so you can see my heart and then the next project. All right, so our next project that you can choose from today is a wire heart. It's gonna be kind of like a sculpture that pops out of the paper here and has beads on it. So you're gonna first start by getting a little piece of wire from Mrs. Butner. She's gonna cut off a little piece for you. Now with this wire, you're gonna take the two ends here. The ends are gonna go on the bottom. Now what you're gonna do is on the top, you're gonna find the middle, and what you're gonna do is take your wire and bend it into a point. So use your finger muscles to bend. This is like the curve of the heart. Now you're gonna take your other two ends and mold them into the tops of the heart until you get something kind of like this. Wire can be kind of tricky. You have to keep kind of molding it with your fingers and twisting it. All right, now I'm gonna put some beads on this. You're gonna go to the bead bucket and grab a little cup of beads. Now the best beads to use for this are the ones that have a hole big enough for the wire. So you might find some beads in there like little buttons that might not be big enough for the wire, so I'm gonna put that one back. And these little rounded beads are great for the wire. These bigger ones are great for the wire as well. These beads. So keep putting your beads on your wire until you filled your hole wire with beads. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that I'm done. Let's pretend that I put beads on my whole heart all the way down, all the way this way and all the way this way on the ends of my heart. All right, so you're gonna go see Mrs. Buettner for a piece of cardboard. It's gonna have a hole in the middle of it. So you're gonna take the two ends of your heart, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna push them together and you're gonna push them through that hole. Okay, so your heart is kind of standing up right now like this on the paper. What you're gonna do with those two ends is you're going to press them down on the bottom of the cardboard. So see, they're kind of pressed down onto the cardboard. And then you're gonna go see Mrs. Buettner. She is gonna put a little bit of hot glue on here to make your heart stand up like a sculpture, so that when you put it on your table, it'll stand up like this by itself, okay? All right, so you can work on this heart project or this heart project when you're done with your other work today. All right, happy creating, friends.